I've slowed down my output of videos and I'm being a bit more selective about the things that I do. Now that I've set a standard to a certain degree of what the channel will be about. Now I saved this screenshot because I was just a bit startled by the story. You know, we search our whole lives for something that's going to be satisfying, pleasing. And we do this perpetually, I think, to our own detriment, because we think that we can be satisfied and pleased, fulfilled. And there's a difference between something being satisfying and being satisfied. You can't be satisfied. You can experience something that's pleasing, but you can't be pleased. You can have an experience that's fulfilling, but you can't be fulfilled. And this is the one of the traps of language. You know, this man thought that he had achieved something, when really you can only be achieving. You know? You could even say that you can't have lived, you can only be living. You can't have died, you can only be dying. I hope you get what I'm saying. We have to live our lives in the moment. Not completely in the moment, like an animal just going back and forth, not knowing, caring about the past or the future. But we have to be aware of what's around us. And that's what I want to remind us all of. Now I'm going to read this headline. Tearful World War II veteran says on his 100th birthday that the current state of America is not what they died for. A U.S. veteran who saw action in World War II lamented the current state of the country while celebrating his 100th birthday. Now this gentleman has his uniform on. Now World War II was 80 years ago. He was 20 years old. He's 100 now. And he's still wearing a uniform and crying about something that happened 80 years ago. Is he living or is he dying? Has he lived or has he died? Is he alive? I hate to be all mystical in this video, but in the end, these videos are just about one thing: awareness, self-awareness, and awareness of others. And I'll keep repeating that. Now he's very distraught, and I'm not teasing or laughing at him at all, but he should be an example to all of us because he believes that perhaps this story, this company Yahoo, or maybe he believes, like I suppose he may believe, that they want to amplify his message. But it's just content. It's just content. And you know, although that has changed a bit, even in 1938, 1945, it was still just content on a newspaper page, you know? And this man has been used his whole life because he was going for an impossible goal. And he thought that he had reached that goal. He's stuck in time. Look at what he said. He said, It's not what they died for. And these are traumatic experiences that this person has had. So I can understand why he placed such meaning on it. But it's important for him, or anyone like him, or you, or me, to continuously gather experiences. And I don't mean to deliberately go around, traveling from country to country trying to see the sights or meet people and go through people, and because that just makes you really kind of an abusive person. But to understand the experiences that we are always having. If you're alive, you're experiencing things, and it's up to you to place weight and importance and meaning to those experiences that we have. Now, it seems as if the last time this person felt that he had a meaningful experience was World War II. And when traumatic things happen, it does seem that way, especially when those things are bad for whatever reason. And that's why I'm going to have more of the Bright Moments thing, the Bright Moments segment on this channel. Because we have to also amplify the good experiences. We don't want to allow terrible happenings around us and in the world to define how we experience and value our lives. If I were to talk to this man, if this man was my grandfather, I would take him somewhere, you know, to a fire pit and tell him to throw this uniform in there because it's trapping him. I would tell him to write letters to these friends who died. Because is he talking about all the thousands of people that he didn't know who died in that war? Was the state of America ever good? I mean, he laments this now, but some people would say it was worse back then. I think everything's always the same, honestly. It's a different balance of different things and different concepts, ideas, values, but nothing new under the sun, right? So let's use this gentleman as an example for us to make sure that we don't get caught up in a worship of a former self or a past time. And we're going to constantly be having to correct ourselves and correct our peers. And I think the way to honor this man and to honor the people that he may have respected, or anyone, is to move forward. Hope you're having a great day.